What happens when the crawdads disappear? And when did they come back? Crawfish, when did they disappear? Whoa! That's a beauty. Good morning, guys and girls. April 29, 30 days has September, April, June. So we've only got one day left in this month. All right, I'm looking at Hebrews. What are you guys and girls thinking right now? Hebrews. That's right, Hebrews. Faith means being sure of the things we hope for and knowing that something is real even if we do not see it. That's a definition of faith. If you looked in the dictionary, I don't know exactly what you might see in the dictionary, but I know if you look in God's Word, this is what we see in Hebrews. Faith is being sure of the thing we hope for and knowing that something is real even if we do not see it. Let's see what I wrote about that. I like this one. This is one of my favorites. The easiest way to get a mental picture of an underwater creek or roadbed is with 10 or 12 marker buoys. A marker buoy where you've got a float that's got a string on it and a weight on the bottom of it, and you throw it out to mark a spot. Now, I know in today's world we use a lot of waypoints, but now the marker buoys that we're going to use and what I'm going to tell you right here, you can't really use a waypoint to make that work really, really well. The best way is to do it just like I'm going to tell you. Use 10 or 12 marker buoys, crisscross over the creek or the road, and drop a buoy each time you cross the creek or the roadbed. Quickly, you have the creek or road laid out on top of the water with buoys. Now, you can look at that and know what it looks like and can easily see the key areas to fish. This increases our faith in that particular structure. So in other words, basically we're taking what's down underwater and we're laying it up on top of the water with those buoys. So as we look, we see that creek wind along on top of the water, and that's what's on the bottom of that, underneath the water. So we're transforming that up to the top. And we look at it, as we look at it, we see it goes over here, maybe makes a sharp bend back. Right there where that bend, you got an inside bend and outside bend. If you lay a road bed out going back and forth, you look, and then maybe you get to a place where it turns. Maybe you get to a place that's got a culvert under it or a bridge or something like this. Maybe as you're doing that, once you've got that road bed laid out, then you want to idle down through that road bed and look down on your down scan and see what's down there. And you'll find maybe a brush pile, maybe a culvert or a bridge or something on that. It's how I found some of the very best places in the world to fish on Lake Tenkiller, my home lake. I'm not sure if there's a shortcut to real faith in Jesus Christ. If there is, it might be in the fact that God chose us. Isn't that cool? God chose us, and He's working in us, and He's working for us every single day. That's where faith comes from right there, knowing that God chose us, He's working for us, and He's working with us every single day. We don't see God, but we see the results of His presence in our life. We have things happen that are just incomprehensible. We have things happen that I hear people say, well, that's a God thing. It couldn't have been anything else but a God thing. We see the results of God in our life. I've been seeing the results of God in my life tremendously here lately, and my faith has been tested. There's absolutely no doubt about it. But my faith I had in God has been rewarded, and it's been rewarded immensely, immensely. What can I say? Just like we're really not seeing that creek, we're only seeing it laid out on top of the water, what it looks like. We're only seeing marker buoys, but we know that the creek is there. I see God's work, and I know that Jesus is there in my life. So if you ever get to the point, and you will, where you get tested almost beyond what you can stand, you get tested and you have pain that becomes almost unbearable, remember and look back on the times in your life and the situations where you saw God step in and do things that couldn't have been anything but God stepping in and doing them. That's where faith comes from. That's where faith comes from. When you look back and you say, well, I remember when somebody embezzled $600,000 from this company. And we were stone broke. We owed a lot of money. We didn't have any money. There was no way we could stay in business. But God stepped in, and we did. I remember a situation where Grandma Lizzie, Chris's mama, who's now gone on to be with the Lord, I remember when she had a cancer, and they said that she might have a pretty comfortable Christmas, and then that was going to be about it. Her life was going to end because of that terminal cancer. And they went in to remove part of the cancer so she could at least be comfortable for a few more weeks or months, short months in her life. When they went in to remove the cancer, the day they went to remove it, they did one final x-ray before they were to do the operation. It was gone, completely gone, completely gone. Now, she lived, I don't know how many years after that, quite a few, I don't even know exactly. But so we saw God perform miracles. We saw him work. And in this situation that we've been going through with this brain aneurysm and this stroke with Chris, we could go back and look at those. And then y'all helped me so much in that too, because y'all sent me situations where either you or a relative or a friend had gone through this same type situation and they fully recovered. All of that stuff helped just make my faith bigger and bigger and bigger every day. And I just so believed that God was healing Chris. And he was, and he was, and he is, he still is. It's not over. We still have a long battle to fight. But God is healing Chris. And that's where that faith comes from, is looking at what God has done in your life in the past. And if you're a new Christian and you can't say, well, I can't look back on anything, Jimmy, that God's done for me, get ready, because God's getting ready to do something for you. Okay, here's our tip for today. It's a pretty good one, too. Crawdads will reappear in the early fall for food for the fish. Now, what happens to crawfish in the springtime, usually in the South along about July? They burrow up and have their babies. By the way, a mama crawfish has about 400 babies. That's right, 400 babies. So if you can get crawfish stocked in your ponds that you have or your lakes, they reproduce a lot. But they disappear. They're not available during that hot summer months. But then they reappear in the fall and become, the bass just get after them big time. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, I sure do love you.